Okay. So what I'm doing here is a really shit play. Really shit play. The better play is literally me holding on the stairs and just being the hardest kill possible. Obviously at this point in the game, like it's kind of pretty early, so I needed to get like a lot of reps to like understand that. But like later in the game, like I would never do this. The only time I would ever push out is if like we got like 2 to 3 dead, and I know for a fact I can push out. Cause like see how like even though I didn't die, like I literally didn't even die, but it still was not good. Like even though I literally had 0 deaths and I probably
square, turning at each corner like a normal staircase. But even though each step seems to rise, it never gets higher or lower. As your eyes follow the path, it feels like an endless climb that never actually gets anywhere. And this happens because your brain looks at the lines on the page and automatically views them as a 3D staircase. But if it were actually 3D, and you viewed it from the side, you would see there's a gap between the stairs, meaning this illusion only works in 2D. Each step forms a perfect square.
See, I made sure to check this time. My mic wasn't working, but now we're good. What's going on, team? Welcome to this weekend's weekly market breakdown. Hold on, let me test just in case. Test market breakdown. Perfect. Finally, oh brother. I was just telling you, yo, hop in court after this. Vienna and Booba, that shit was, dude, that was comedy, Booba. I know you in here. That shit was funny. My bad if I sound a little off. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I woke up kind of like losing my voice. It's all the shit I was talking this week. But I don't feel sick or anything, so that's good. Unless it's not good, then that's I'll know more later this week if I do get sick. But I feel good. I just woke up a little bit with little to no voice, so I'm gonna push through this. It doesn't hurt when I speak or anything. It's just low. Sound like a little girl. Not gonna talk much. I'm sick. No, brother. Fucking Booba said the same thing, that he not feeling good. Yo, all I'm saying is you guys better not get me sick, yo. So if you're sick, don't even join the cord. That shit's gonna go through the mic. I don't want it near me. As a matter of fact, you're lucky I don't have a mask on. I'd put it on. I'd put that shit on ASAP too. But just want to give everybody a few more minutes to join. I did say 12:30, so we'll have a few people joining us. But I did turn the stream on a little bit earlier. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of tweaked on that. I made the post on X, and I was like, shit, I tweeted it. I just might as well go live, and I'll just put the waiting screen. Got a full body fever? Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, nah, you could be getting sick because you be fucking working like a dog. So your body probably just shut down. Plus you be eating like bullshit. Fucking 4 bags of chips, donuts, stealing everybody's juice. You probably fucking got sick because of one of them motherfuckers. Market maker got me. Yo, they fucking really did get you though. Goddamn market makers, man. Okay, eating that bullshit, man. I've been on the same wave though. Not gonna lie. Now that I've been good and I could go to the bathroom regular, I've been eating fucking Doritos and shit. But not as bad as you though, bro. I'll tell you that. All I be having to eat, gotta save bread. Nah, facts. Gotta do what you gotta do. But fuck, man. Choose one battle. Don't choose two at one time. And like, you'll be good. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna, knock on wood. You're not gonna die from no cold. But choose a battle at a time, man. It's easier. Fucking don't sleep, but at least, eat an acai bowl, man. Spend $12, $8, depends where you go. Get a smoothie, man. It's Tropical Smoothie Cafe at least. Shit, you got a fucking $6 smoothie. Fuck the $6 smoothie. Go to the supermarket. If you don't even want to spend $6, cool. Go to the supermarket. Spend $20 on fruits and vegetables once a week. And just make your smoothie in the morning, bro. You'll be chilling. That's all you got. Smoothies and tea help your body. Yeah, at least. That's what really was sea moss. Yup. You put sea moss in there. You put elderberry powder. You put blueberries, mango, pineapple, coconut flakes. Put a little bit of honey. You put strawberries, banana, raspberry, blackberry, blueberry. Am I missing one? I don't think so. I think I'm good. You could put whatever else you want. If you want to put apple slices and shit, you don't need that. Put spinach, kale. Blend that shit up. Make a smoothie in the morning. Make one for the nighttime too when you get back from work. Fucking feel like a brand new man. And then you eat the bullshit that you want to eat throughout the day, but at least you give your body what you need. Yeah, those are good. That's good for hydration. It's not bad at all. Hydration and a lot of um, antioxidants. Yeah, but don't fuck around with that shit though. Okay, your shit's gonna go limp, man. Imagine you're not getting no food, no vitamins, just fucking potato chips. Yo, you don't want your shit to go limp, man. That's not fun, bro. Trust. And get those smoothie, bro. Order. Find somebody. I know you can find somebody by you that gets sea moss. Buy that shit. A jar will last you a month. Elderberry powder. Get that shit on Amazon. That whole packet will last you a month too, and it's like $12. And then go to the supermarket, bro, and go buy. I could send you the list of fruits and shit that you need. I'm pretty sure I sent it to you before, but I'll send it to you again. Go get those fruits, go get those vegetables, put that shit in your smoothie. You know, you could add it with either whatever you want, right? Oat milk or almond milk. Or you could put coconut water. Coconut water fire, that's what I do mine with. You drink it in the morning when you wake up, and you drink it at night before you go to bed. Once 8 o'clock hit, T started getting numb, was growing. What? That's crazy. Limp meat not cool. It's not, bro. That shit's not cool at all. I order something. I'll send the link. All right, cool. All right, guys. Let's get started. Before we get started, actually, any questions? Again, I woke up today. My voice is kind of losing my voice. I'm not sure what happened. Wasn't partying or nothing, man. I don't do none of that. But if you have any questions about any specific pairs before we get started, let me know. If not, the pairs that we're going to be going in order, the ones that we're going to be going over are going to be the ones that you see with the red flag next to their name, starting off with AUDUSD, finishing off with USOIL. We will be going in order from the top to the bottom. Am I missing any pairs? I think I'm good. AUCAD, EURCAD, GCAD, GJGU, NZD, US30, USDCAD, ZAR, gold, Bitcoin, oil. Perfect. We'll give you guys another minute. If no questions, if you guys don't want me to go over any specific pair, then we'll again be going over these, and we'll be going over the daily time frame, the 4-hour time frame, 30-minute time frame, update our highs and lows, and see if we have any continuations to finish off this month, man. We're already halfway through the month. First 2 weeks of trading kind of been slow. Right, we've been stuck in zones of consolidation, price moving counter trend. So let's see what this week is going to bring us. Oh man. Take a sip of water, then we'll get started. As Steve Morrow would say, take a sip of my Diet Pepsi. That guy's a clown. He funny, man. He also used to say, if trading is just a hobby for you, take up photography. It's a lot cheaper. Facts. Alright, let's get started. I'm going to try to make this quick, especially for those who watch the recording, tomorrow morning before the live trading session. I'm going to try to make this quick, about 30 minutes, probably 35 minutes. Let's try to get through this. Again, if you guys have any questions throughout any part of the stream, I'm about any pairs, just let me know. So AU on the daily time frame, we know that we're still on an overall downtrend. We're looking for that level 3 push to go all the way back down to our previous lows that we had before, right? So we know that when we're looking at structure, when we're looking at the trend, what are we doing, right? We have lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low. We're looking for the lower high to be set. Now again, we've been saying this for the last couple of weeks. We have 2 points of interest. We have our 800 EMA as a point where price could give us a lower high to then go into a lower low. But we also have the 30-minute gap that's still at the top of the structure in the middle of the zone of consolidation, where price could give us a steeper lower high somewhere in this area, and this is where we'll see price start that downtrend push to the bottom, right? So the question should really be, well, okay, price reached your first point of interest. What are you looking for in order to see that price is going to give you a continuation, right? Because if this is our first point of interest, this is where we're expecting price to do something like this, to then continue back down to the lows, right? Clean traffic. If we get this break, right, just look to the left-hand side. We have clean traffic all the way back down to the daily lows, right? So what's going to be our confirmation that price is going to continue back down to the bottom instead of just giving us a little zone of consolidation, right? Accumulation phase where it's trapping traders to then go back to the top side, right? How do we avoid getting into the traps that the markets will give us, right? And it's very simple. This is where now you go down to the lower time frame, and let's go ahead and just clean the charts up so it's not all clustered with drawings, right? I hope that made sense. Make sure you guys take a screenshot, do whatever you need in order for this to stick, right? Take notes, get your journal out, get a pen and paper. It's better than typing, right? This is where we go down to the 4-hour time frame, and we start looking at the 4-hour structure, right? If the lower time frames move, the higher time frames have to move, right? The lower time frames are always going to tell you, especially if you're a swing trader, right? But this helps you if you're a day trader, a scalper, doesn't matter what you are, right? When you look at structure from the daily time frame, right? On the daily time frame, you're thinking, okay, cool, this is a lower high, we have to look for a lower low, right? But in order for price to give you that move from the lower high to the lower low, you need to see the lower time frame start moving, right? Because the bigger picture is daily time frame. The structure within the daily time frame, you're going to see that on the 4-hour, right? The 4-hour structure, you want to see the lower time frame break those lower interval movements, and that's going to happen on the 1 hour, the 30-minute, right? And then vice versa. If you want to see a 30-minute move, then you need to see the movements on the 5-minute, on the 1-minute time frame, right? So on the 4-hour time frame, what is the structure on the 4-hour? We know we're trading higher high, higher low, higher high. Then price came down and gave us a change of character, lower low. However, a change of character, just because price broke the structure the first time, this could still be the inducement. A change of character isn't a definite, oh, price is making low, higher high, higher low, higher high, gave us a lower low, we're going to change the trend. The trend has shifted. That's incorrect. Once a change of character is made, the definite move that you're looking for price to continue this downtrend is when price gives you a valid break of structure and then gives you a pullback, right? And you have to remember, you're not just looking to catch one single move, you're looking to catch the trend. So if I'm looking to catch the trend, I'm okay with missing out on these first moves, right? I'm okay with it. Why? Because why am I going to cry? To give you an example, why am I going to cry about 108 pips, right, which you're catching in 2 to 3 days, when I know that the overall move that I'm looking for is 520 pips at least, right? So I'm okay with missing a piece of the pie because I'm not greedy, right? If I ordered a whole box of pizza, right, 8 slices, 12 slices, whatever, I'm not going to fucking eat all 12 slices. I'm not a fat ass, right? I'm going to share, I'm going to eat some and then save some for tomorrow, right? I might not even eat today. I might just wait till tomorrow when I'm hungry and I'll eat the whole box throughout the day. You got to think of trading the exact same way. You're not going to eat the whole move in one single trade. You're going to dissect it. Be like, okay, We already know this is what's going to happen. We have to wait for this to happen. Once this happens, then we wait and we get into the entry, right? So now on the 4-hour time frame, now we know, okay, cool. Let's go back to the daily. Let's start dissecting this piece by piece. The one thing a lot of traders would see would be, oh, we have a lower low. We have a change of character. On the daily time frame, it looked like price is giving us a lower high, which again, on the 4-hour time frame, the same thing. On the daily time frame, what did price print? Printed a nice bearish, wrong button, sorry. A nice bearish engulfing candle. Beautiful, right? It printed at the lower high that you would think this is where price is going to give you lower low, lower high to continue to go short. But now on the 4-hour time frame, on top of the fact that the daily time frame gave us a nice engulfing candle, right? So let's mark this so we're not confused. Right, so this is a daily engulfing candle. Right? On the 4-hour time frame, when we're looking at the structure that is printing within the move, it looks like price wants to give us a shoulder head shoulder. Right? Notice how now, okay, on the 4-hour, we could anticipate a move that's going to be a shoulder head shoulder. On the 30-minute time frame, when we're looking at structure now, what do we see? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So you see why this engulfing candle that's on the daily time frame, this is a low probability trade that price is going to go short for two reasons. The number one reason, we're still on an uptrend. The second reason, price on the 4-hour time frame has a shoulder head shoulder. In order for this to be a valid engulfing candle retest, we at least wanted to see price break these lows instead of giving us the inducement, right? If it would have given us a break and a retest, right, then we could say, okay, cool. This is just gonna go lower. And where is it gonna go lower to? It's gonna go lower into these lows down here, right? So again, just give us another push to possibly fake out traders and give us either an inducement to continue up or for price to give us the break retest to continue. Now, what's the second thing that could happen? Very simple. If we go down to the 30-minute time frame, we already know that price is trending higher high, higher low, right? Price gave us the inducement. Now on the 5-minute time frame, what are we looking for? For price to continue, that confirmation that price is going to continue back to the top side, we want to see the same thing but on a lower time frame. Price gave us, let me know if this is clustered. I'll start deleting some drawings. Lower low, that was a horrible circle. Let me do it with the highlighter. Lower low, lower high, lower low. Price gave us a change of character, higher high, higher low. It gave us a break of structure, right? Came up, price came down, gave us a little change. Now at this point, price still hasn't given us a clean break of these lows. If price gives us a clean break of these lows, then perfect. We know price is going to go back down. Once price gets to these lows, this is where I'll stop and I'll look for the same thing. If price gives us an inducement of these lows, we know price is going to go higher. If it gives us a break of these lows, then perfect. We know we could catch those trades to continue back down to the bottom. So right now, this is just what we would say is the inducement phase of the market. This is the area where you will always see me just take a step back. I'm not going to take any trades here, and I'm going to wait for price to give us the trend continuations. Once we get the break, then we get the entry. Without the break, there's no entry. Right, so I'm going to delete some drawings here because that's a lot, right? So give me 1 second. I'm going to keep some drawings. What's this? I'm not gonna keep what's on the 4 hours, so I'm gonna do right the shoulder at shoulder. We'll keep that there. Then golfing candle, we'll keep that. Then we'll delete this. Okay. Go back to the 4 hour because we need to update what moves we're doing. So last week we had a week of rise. This week price is 8 pips from being a no net. We'll put a week of drop here for the vibes. If we need to update this when the market opens, we'll do that. And then on the 30-minute time frame, right, and Booba, tell me if I'm wrong. That trade you took, or that trade that you saw on that chart, what was it? USDJPY? This is the same thing that's happening with that chart, but inverted. You had a uptrend, shoulder head shoulder, inverse shoulder head shoulder, compared to this one that is just a regular bearish shoulder head shoulder. You had a bullish shoulder head shoulder, there's a bearish shoulder head shoulder, but the exact same thing. Right, Kendall says you avoided by waiting for the change in the break. Yep, exactly. No break, no trend, no entry. Exactly, yep. This would be the point where Booba would be entering trades, going both ways, going crazy. Yo, none of these are going into TP, straight to stop loss. Say you ain't lying. I'm telling you, bro. Like it's, yo, this shit really is just rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Like you already know what this area is gonna do to you. So why are you gonna take a trade here? There's nothing to trade. Just wait. Sit on your hands. There's nothing to trade. The moment you get anxious, the moment you feel like you gotta take a trade because you're gonna miss the trade, that's the best time to stay away from the charts. Because you're just gonna start entering positions and closing positions and waiting for a Hail Mary to be thrown. When in reality, all you had to do is just wait. Wait a few days. Wait a few hours. If you have to wait a week, man. There's nothing wrong with that. You a damn trader. You're making fucking 4K, 5K, 10K an entry. Like, what are you talking about? You don't gotta trade every day, man. You take one trade, man. That one trade pays your fucking bills. So, that's really the way you gotta... That's the way you gotta think of it. And it's doable now, bro. We're talking about 100K accounts. Prop firms. You shouldn't be taking a trade less than $1,000, $2,000 bucks. And if you take 10 trades in a month and you make $1,000 bucks per trade, that's 10K. If you need more than that to live, you lying to yourself. You want to live a fantasy life, you know, driving cars and expensive cars, but again, social media is gonna make you believe that these guys did it all while trading. When in reality, yeah, it's definitely doable. You're just not gonna do it in a year. If you notice, all these gurus are doing what? Selling you affiliate codes. They're owners of prop firms. They got businesses on the side that allows them to live that lifestyle that you're seeing on social media. They're selling you, signals. They're selling you courses for not 20 bucks, 500, 1,000. Of course, they're able to live that lifestyle. They sell merch, right? You gotta understand, like, that lifestyle you guys see on social media with these guys flexing vehicles and flexing cars and vacations that's paid by fucking different corporations and businesses that they do, doesn't come from just trading. However, it definitely could if you get that skill set. The only way you get that skill set is by doing the right shit on the markets. So 200K account, even better, bro. You got firms that be giving you fucking $500,000. Like, that shit's crazy. The money is out there. If you haven't made your piece of the pie, it's because you have something that is wrong. You just gotta fix it. But I will say again, it's not a easy task. This trading shit is not easy. Steve, student had a 100K trade. Yep, like a week ago, a few days ago, some shit like that. That was my knowledge for the day. I know I'm talking a lot today, man, but I feel like a beam of light today. Alright, so AUDCAD, we know we're still in A1. Again, A1, we're in an overall downtrend, is the first zone of consolidation on a downtrend. We have the first push, level 1, first zone of consolidation, which is A1. We're looking for that second push to the bottom. Right now, we know that overall, on the bigger time frame, we're stuck in the zone of consolidation. Cool, no problem. Let's go down to the lower time frames. Lower time frames, what is price doing? In a zone of consolidation, where price is rejecting lows, rejecting highs, rejecting lows, rejecting highs, and on a lower time frame, which when we go into the 30-minute time frame, what is price doing? It's moving sideways, right? So we already know, okay, cool. Price got up to these highs, right? It did give us 2 weeks of rise, right? 15 pips is good. Again, once the market opens and we get that first 4-hour candle print, if we need to update this, we will. Right? And on the 30-minute time frame, very similar to AUDUSD. So think about it. This is how we set our charts up for the week. Right? And you can see that we already had this marked from Thursday going into Friday. Right? The number one thing I'm seeing, right? So again, we're at the top of the zone of consolidation. We know we're in a downtrend. Okay. How do we know if price, again, this is the question, because a lot of people are probably trading this as, oh my god, lower low, lower high, lower low, this is going to be the lower high, we're going to go straight down to profit, yippee. Right? Let's take a step back. How do we know that this is going to be the lower high? That's the question you have to start thinking when you're looking at your charts. If you're not asking these questions to yourself, you already lost half the battle. Right? The question is, how do we know if price is going to continue these downtrend pushes from these highs? On the lower time frame, we could already see something happening. And what is it? A bearish shoulder head shoulder pattern. It's very simple. Again, I am a believer that every strategy in the market works. I do believe that. Every strategy in the market, doesn't matter what you're trading. Flag post patterns, if you're looking at candlestick analysis, if you're looking at simple breaks and retests, if you're looking at what ICT teaches, SRC, right, or SMC, whatever, well, SRC too, if you're trading what Roger Banks does, right? Fib retracements, all of those things work. You have to connect it with market structure. That's the number one thing, is market structure. There's nothing above market structure. You can't teach me a strategy that's not connected to market structure, because it's not going to work, right? You have a shoulder, head, shoulder. So what am I looking for? It's very simple. Same thing that I'm looking for here, right? I want to see something. Where's our 30-minute highs and lows? Do I not have this chart marked up? Oh, I do. I'm tripping. Okay, wait. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Boom. Price, the number one thing already. Did price give us a valid higher high on the 30-minute time frame? No. It gave us an inducement. On the lower time frame, this is what's marked up here. On the lower time frame, price had given us higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high change of character. Right? Again, our confirmation that price is going to continue these pushes down to the bottom is going to be if price gives us a valid break of structure. I'm also taking into account that we do have a shoulder head shoulder, so I'm not only going to be looking for price to break these lows. I need to see a clean break of this structure here. Right, I'm gonna mark this as red, even though red is our 30-minute lows, but this is, I'm gonna still mark this red just not to confuse myself. And I'm gonna rename it just break of structure, so I'm not All right, so I'm not confused here. This is not a 30-minute low. This is just the break of the price action that we see currently being printed, right? And our 5-minute lows. Let's actually mark that 5-minute BOS. And that'll tell us. If price wants to break these lows, then we know we'll continue this downtrend push. Perfect. If price gives us an inducement, starts going up, gives us that uptrend push, we know we're going to continue that uptrend push back to the top side. And again, same thing that we talked about in AU. How do we avoid getting into the accumulation? Is by understanding the moves that the market is printing. Right? So ACAD, we just got to be patient with it. We already know, at least for this week, we're setting our charts up. We know what we're looking for. If price gives us a break, perfect. We have clean entries. If price doesn't give us a break, then we just got to sit on our hands and wait for price to give us that lower high. Euro AUD, we're in level 3 on an uptrend. This is the last and final push before we start looking for price to turn around, start going back down. Right? We know that we're expecting price to give us that third push at least up until these highs. Once price gets to these highs, that's when I'll stop trading and I'll wait for price to start giving us that downtrend push to start that overall downtrend. But for now, let's look at what we're looking for. So we know, okay, again, gotta ask yourself these questions. What are we expecting price to do? Okay, expecting and what is going to happen. It's two different things. This is why you have to set up your charts. Well, okay, we're anticipating and we want to see price give us this uptrend push. Cool. Currently, what is price doing? Well, we know that price is sitting at a high that it has been inducing and rejecting for the last couple months. Perfect, no problem. I already know, okay, before I take a trade going long in this area, I need to see price give me a break of these highs. Once we get a break of these highs, again, we have clean traffic all the way back up to here. And again, for a lot of people, that's not a lot. That's not a lot. Buddy, we're talking about 300, 400 pips. People drool to be able, people drool to be able to even catch 30 pips, 40 pips, 50 pips. I'm just trying to catch a piece of the pie. I have 500 pips to play with. Cool. I have a good area. 4-hour time frame. Damn, man. 4-hour time frame. Last week, we didn't mark this up last week. Price gave us another week of no net. Again, just moving sideways. Price is moving sideways, obviously. And then this week, price gave us a nice little break. But again, these internal moves, I'm not worried about them. Right? I'm waiting for price in the overall to start moving. And on the 30-minute time frame, price had given us change of character, break of structure, gave us his own consolidation. Right? You can see that at the bottom after the break, waited for price to give us that lower time frame, change of character, break, had a 4-hour engulfing, price went back to the top. Cool. We're stuck in the zone of consolidation, just kept going. Right, again, I already caught 30 pips out of the 500 that price is going to do. I already caught 30. I'm almost there. All right, when I'm 3% done or whatever it is. I don't know math. Don't come at me. And it did the same thing throughout the entire week. It did the same thing at the start of the market on Monday for this week. It gave us another beautiful entry on Wednesday to go back. But again, I'm not awake at these sessions, so no trades were taken. But if you were up at this time, beautiful trades. Right, price had given us another break of structure on the 30-minute time frame and 2 days of rise. So now on the 30-minute time frame, we know that we're trading between this higher high over here right, the higher low is down here. Right, this was the break, and then the higher high is going to be up here. Don't have a set high just yet, but we'll mark it up for now just so we know that this is our 30-minute high. Now, could we be looking for a 372? Again, very low probability for a third day push. Why? Because again, we're still trading at the highs where price has rejected. So again, I'm not looking to take any trades at these highs, right, until price gives us break retest to continue. So I'll be patient with EA. We'll wait for the price for the move to develop, and then we'll go on from there. Sorry guys, again, I'm like kind of woke up this morning losing my voice, so I'm gonna take another sip of water real quick before I continue. Any questions so far? Again, we pretty much, these first 3 pairs, I'm not gonna go through every single pair doing that. I'm gonna start speeding up. We're already almost an hour into the stream, but if you guys have any questions, again, let me know. Anything that's not making sense, anything you want me to go over again, anything you want me to explain, just let me know, and then we'll take the time to do that. But I am gonna start speeding up a little bit. I don't want this to be a 2-hour stream. So I'll give you guys another minute. 40 seconds actually. We'll start at 1 o'clock. 40 seconds. Any questions, let me know. Kendall says no questions. He's Albert Einstein. Booba says he's big chillin'. Alright, cool. Yo, you imagine I lose my voice and I gotta start. I'll have to learn how to do sign language. That'd be nuts. You guys would be fucked though. You guys better learn with me. Alright, no question in the chat. Perfect. We'll keep going. So, again, we're just going to speed up here. EURCAD, we know that we're in PCAD territory, so I'm not going to be trading this at all. Still don't have a set high on the daily time frame. Still don't have a set break. But if we got a break of these highs, then okay. We know price is just going to continue the push, and that's okay. 4-hour time frame, we got a set break. Perfect on the 4-hour time frame. We did get a good break. Again, I'm not going to update our 4-hour highs just yet. I'm going to wait for a set highs to be made, and then we'll go on from there. We have 2 weeks of rise. Could we be expecting a 3rd week push? Once again, not going to be looking for price to give us another push until we get a valid break of these highs. If price just gives us this candle and gives us an inducement of the high, then we know price is just going to go all the way back down to the bottom. So right now, this 3rd week push to the top side, this is low probability. So I'm not going to mark this as a 3rd week push. Regardless of everything else as well, we finished at the high. So once price opens, that 3rd week high would already be made. And again, just goes back into what we were saying. It could be the inducement, right? These lower time frame higher highs and higher lows that you see on the 30-minute time frame, you could probably be seeing this and saying to yourself, well, hey, price is making higher high, higher low. Can't I just look for a trade to go back into a higher low, to go back into a higher high? Again, yes, right? That is how you trade a trend. However, what is the end of the trend? That's another question you have to ask yourself before you take a trade, right? A trend always has to end, right? A trend is not always going to be higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low forever, right? Vice versa. A trend isn't going to be lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high forever. It's going to have to make the inducements. It's going to have to go and push down and give you a lower low, right? It has to trap traders. Right, that is what the market does. That's what market manipulation is, right? So understanding the fact, okay, we still don't have a valid break of the daily time frame. This could still be the inducement to trap traders, to make them believe that this is where price is going to continue higher, and this is where price could fall and start giving you lower lows and lower highs, right? Once you understand that you're trading in this area, the best thing to do is stay away from the chart, let it develop. And what do I mean by let it develop? On the daily time frame, you know you're looking for that valid break of structure. So you have to wait a day, you have to wait 2 days, 3 days for price to develop and let you know if this is where price is going to give you a break, or if price wants to go down and give us that valid inducement. Once we start seeing on the higher time frame that it gave us the inducement, that's when the 30-minute structure, the 1-hour structure is going to start giving us lower lows and lower highs. And that's when we know that, okay, cool, this is where the downtrend is going to start, and we're going to continue to start seeing price go lower, right? So it's just, again, a pattern that you have to just wait for. right? Again, the best analogy for my people who are into coding, right? Software engineers, all of this. When you're coding, your code is if this, then that. If that, then this. It's the same way in trading. If we get a break of structure, then I'll look for price to continue to go higher. If price gives us an inducement of the high, then we know we're going to go short. It's just if this, then that. It's really that simple. The hardest part about trading isn't looking at what's happening on your screen. The hardest thing about trading is developing the mindset and the strong psychology to be able to stay away from trades. And the best way to do that is by getting the knowledge of the charts. Because again, if you're still nervous, if you're still anxious while taking trades, you have a lot of work to do. That means you're not confident in what you're seeing. And there's nothing wrong with that. Again, an analogy that everybody could really understand. You go to school. On Monday, your teacher tells you you have a presentation, you have to write an essay that you have to do and present on Thursday. Right? You have all of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to not only write the paper, but do the research to be able to go in the front of the class on Thursday morning to present your paper. Right? You have a group of students who are nervous because they don't know what they wrote about because they copied or they cheated or they're just not ready to present it. And then you have the group of students who are excited to read their essay and talk about it on Thursday. What's the difference? The people who are excited are the people who are ready to do their presentation. The people who did the work, they studied, they know what they're going to talk about. The people who are nervous, again, they didn't do that. They copied, they waited till the last minute, they didn't really study it, they're nervous, they're anxious. It's the same way in trading. If you're still nervous, if you're still unsure about what you're doing when you're looking at the charts live in the morning when you're taking trades, that means that you still have a lot of work to do. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to go do what you got to go do. You got to get your chart time up. So, again, any questions, let me know. I'm talking a lot today, but it couldn't be a day where I'm fucking not losing my voice, right? I usually don't talk this much in the weekly market breakdowns, man. I got a little tired of just rambling the same stuff. Because again, this is all things we talk about every single day. Especially if you know me. This is the shit that I say every single day. So it's nothing different, but let's keep it going, man. Euro USD, we're in level 2 on an uptrend, right? We had push 1, first zone of consolidation, V1. We had the break, the retest of the zone of consolidation that confirmed our level 2 push back to the top side, right? Now that we know we're trading higher high, again, looking at the trends, higher high, higher low, higher high on the daily time frame, what are we looking for? We're looking for price to give us a higher low, right? And again, we have our points of interest as to where we could be expecting price to give us a pullback, right? To give us that set higher low to continue into a higher high, right? On the 4-hour time frame, same trend. We know we're still trading higher high, higher low, higher high, looking for a set higher low to be made, right? Could this be the area where the higher low is being made? This is what we're looking for now, right? We have a weaker rise last week. This week, price gave us a second push to the top side. Perfect. We finished at the highs, right? And we're also looking at the internal structure. Price had given us a nice change of character, a nice break, right? A nice little third push to the top side. We're still making higher high, higher low, higher high. We have a nice engulfing candle on the daily time frame that price tapped into, right? Gave us a retest, started that push to the top side. Now in this area, what I'm looking for those continuations, not only do I want to see a 30-minute break of these highs, but when we're also looking at the internal time frame structure as well, we know that we're still technically on a little lower time frame, lower low, lower high, lower low. So you want to be careful taking trades up in these highs at this point, right? If price gives us a break of these highs, again, you can see how everything lines up, right? 30-minute highs, if price gives us a clean break of these highs, then cool, we know we could go back to these highs up here, right? And it's going to be the same thing. If we get an inducement, I want to see a break. The break that I want to see at this point, once we get up to these highs, I want to see a break of the daily and the 4-hour high. Once we get those breaks, we know price is going to continue. But if price gives us an inducement of this high once again, right? If it does something like something like this, then we know we're going to go back down to the bottom and we'll just go get that steeper pullback. And this is where the market makers were just trapping traders, right? If you notice the behavior of it, if price decides to do something like that, this would just be a big zone of consolidation, right? So again, it's just prepping the charts for what could happen in the future, not only of what could happen in the future, but what we could be looking for now, right? If you could see the future, you could see what's going to happen now. And if you could see what's going to happen now, you could see what's going to happen in the future, right? Everything works. Everything works together. This is a whole puzzle piece, right? Trading, another best way I could put it, and I'm just going to delete these drawings because it's going to be way too much on my screen. Trading is a big puzzle, right? If you don't have all the pieces, you're not going to be able to complete the puzzle. But if you have all the pieces, you'll be able to complete it. It's really simple. It's just going to take time, right? You don't have all the pieces and then you'll be done with the puzzle in 10 minutes, right? If you got a 3,000 piece puzzle, good luck, buddy. That shit's going to take you at least 4 or 5 days to finish, you know? So think of trading the exact same way. Man, my voice is giving out, guys. I'm going to have to really speed up. I don't want to do this to you guys because we're talking a lot of good stuff today, but my throat's starting to hurt, man. Ain't nothing wrong with trading demo, nothing wrong at all. End of the day, everybody who's not profitable is trading demo. Right? Everybody who's buying challenge accounts who aren't getting their payouts, you're pretty much trading demo. Only thing is that it has a price tag on it, so it makes you look rich. That's okay. I failed the challenge, but this isn't a demo. This is a $300 account, a $50 account, an $80 account, whatever the case is, a $15 account. Oh, but it's a challenge. It's not demo. Oh, it is demo, man. You just rather spend money on a demo account than getting a free demo account, but I don't know, man. Kendall says, what you been doing? Yeah, you're asking like you don't know. All right, kid. Sure. Yeah. Why your throat hurting? Yeah, asking like you don't know. Alright. Put you on fucking blast. Right? GA gave us 3 days of rise, which was Wednesday, Thursday, Thursday. Wow, dude, I can't read. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right, was it 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, we know the market must move sideways or go down. And what did price do? It moved sideways. It gave us an inducement of the high, so we're not going to say that this is higher high, lower low, right? All of this is part of the same trend. You have higher low, higher high, right? So 30-minute, we're still uptrending. We got to be patient. Got to be patient with GA. This is another pair that's in peak high territory. We have 3 weeks of rise. After 3 weeks of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. So the fact that we're in peak high territory, the fact that we have 3 days of rise already, the fact that price already gave us 3 weeks of rise, the fact that we're trading at a higher high on the 30-minute time frame, what do we think is going to happen, right? Price has to give us a pullback, right? So GA, we already know that we're going to set our hands on this one. It's no trades for us. So what? Here we go. All right. Yeah. Now you just ain't nervous to really tell people, huh? Yeah. I'm gonna fuck around till that shit flips on you, and then what? GCAD is another one that we are in level 3. We're still looking for that third push all the way back to the top side. So I am still expecting and anticipating price to give us a steeper push back to the top side. Right? The only thing bad with GCAD right now is that we are stuck in a zone of consolidation. Right? In level 3, price gave us a higher high, and instead of just giving us a simple higher low into a higher high, it decided to give us another inducement of the high. Right? Price started just moving sideways in this area. Right? The good thing about it is that it gave us a lot of confirmations to start looking for price to push up. Only thing I don't like about this structure, right? And we'll go into detail with this one too. If price would have given us a clean break of structure of the daily time frame, and then it would have given us a pullback, and it would have given us a move like this, that's just, again, if you're looking at this before this push to the top side, a lot of people were saying, oh, this is a shoulder head shoulder and we're going to start going short. But no, price gave you an inducement and never gave you a valid shoulder head shoulder because it has to give you a break of these lows. The fact that price gave us an inducement of the low, again, if price would have given us a clean break, this would have been a picture perfect higher low trade to take, right? To go back to the top side. So this is where the market, this is where you start seeing, well, shit, you know, could this happen still and price, you know, still go in our direction? Of course, 100%. Right? And then the next thing a lot of people ask me, well, how do you feel when price does that? Well, does it make you feel some type of way? No, it's not my trade. It's not following my rules. Why am I going to feel some type of way if it's not following my rules? Right? So this is where, again, you just got to be patient. Start waiting for price to do what it has to do. We're back up at these highs again. Cool. We missed the initial trade from the bottom going back to the top side. Cool. All right. I'm not worried about it. What's the next thing? Well, same thing. Same thing we were looking for here. If price gives us a break of the highs, then we know we're going to go higher, and I'll be looking for my trades after price gives us a break and a retest to then continue. If price gives us an inducement the same way that it did here a couple weeks ago, what do we think price is going to do? It's just going to continue to go higher? No. We know it's going to give us a pullback back down to the bottom. Once price reaches these lows, and once price reaches these lows, that's when I'll start looking to take my trades again. Because we know price is either going to give us the inducement to continue back to the top, or we know price is going to give us a break to go short, and down here is where we know we're going to be looking for the same thing. Either the inducement to go back to the top, or this is where price is going to give us the break to go back short, and if it gives us that breakdown to these lows, then again, we know that we're just trading on a higher time frame, higher high, higher low, higher high, and we're just looking for a higher low to be set. Right? So again, this is where you just have to be able to look at the charts and just think about it. I'm already getting my chart ready for what could happen a month, 2 months, 3 months from now. Once you see that, then you start going into the lower time frames and start looking at what's happening right now. Right? That's the craziest thing about this. Like, you're setting yourself up for weeks and weeks and weeks of trading, not just one day to the next. But what do I know about trading, man? I'm just a fucking clown. Lower time frame, we're still making little smaller, higher highs and higher lows. Not valid, but we'll give this one a valid pullback. Instead of saying that this is all going to be one trend, we'll minimize this on the 30-minute time frame just so we have a little bit of space to play with. So we're trading between these 30-minute lows down here and these 30-minute highs up here. What the fuck do I know about trading? I don't know, man. Alright, we're going to start speeding up, gentlemen. GJ, we are still in an uptrend in the same predicament as the last pair. Right, we're stuck in the zone of consolidation. We're at the top of the zone of consolidation. Price still hasn't given us a valid break of these highs. Right, and we can see that a lot clearly on the 4-hour time frame. Price just gave us the inducement to the highs. None of these candles gave us a valid break. Right, and then on a lower time frame, we know that price also gave us a smaller zone of consolidation, where again the same questions that I was asking, we'll go back to it. Right, we had a fucking zone of consolidation where price was just rejecting lows and rejecting highs for the last 3 days, 4 days now. Right, where price rejected the highs again, went back to the lows, rejecting the lows again. Right. So the question, well, holy shit, we have 2 weeks of rise. Could we expect price to give us a third week? Again, same examples as the other one. I can't expect price or anticipate price to give me another push to the top side if price never gave us a valid break of these highs. Again, price literally just showed you, these candlesticks just showed you the inducement of the highs. It gave you exhaustion candles if you're into candlestick analysis. Right? It gave you exhaustion candles, it gave you inducements, and then it started giving you lower lows and lower highs. So again, this is a very low probability trade to go back to the highs because price never gave us a break. Now, if price would have given us a valid break of structure of these highs, and then it would have given us these moves that we see here, right? then yes, I could say I'm looking for price to give us another inducement of these lows to go back to the top side. But I'm not expecting that to happen. I'm not expecting that to happen because price never gave us those valid breaks of these highs. Not even on the 30 minute. On the 30 minute, it's literally doing the same thing. It gave you the inducements of the highs. None of these candles are breaks. All of these candles are inducements. They're testing candles, right? Then it went back down. So want to be patient. Again, want to be very patient with these pairs. A lot of these are trading in the exact same way, right? These weeks and these months where you see these traders online going crazy, like losing a lot and going on losing streaks, is because they're trading this bullshit. Once you understand that you could stay away from trading this area, man, you win. That's it. Alright, well, DJ Khaled said, all you do is win, 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 no matter what. Start fucking, that's gonna be my theme song every time I join a Discord. Watch. Man, I need water. I drank all my water. Yo, Kendall, can you go to the kitchen, man, and get me a water, please? Damn, man. Alright, we're almost done. Let's push through. So, GU, we're in level 2 on an uptrend. Again, I'm not going to go through this like I did with the other pairs. I'm just going to do what I got to do here. Still making the same thing as EU, higher high and higher low on the daily time frame. On the 4 hour, the exact same thing that's happening with EU is happening with GU. So if you want to break down for GU, just go back to what I was saying for EU, and it'll be the exact same thing, right? This is a low probability third week push. Again, looking at the structure, we reached the previous high. We had inducement candles, which we could see on the 30-minute time frame. Didn't give us a clean break, right? We're still trading, however, on the 30-minute time frame, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and we're looking for a higher low, right? Same thing that we're talking about on the 4-hour time frame is the same thing we'll say on the 30-minute. We had 3 days of rise, perfect. On the 3rd day, it gave us a rise drop. We already knew that this 4th day variation to go back to the highs were low probability. Why? Because price already gave us the inducement, right? Price gave us the inducement of the high, right? What else did we see? A little zone of consolidation, right? My breakout traders, what are we talking about, right? Break and a retest to continue, right? So we want to be careful taking these buy positions in this area. If price gives me a break, then I'll take a trade. Right now, there's no area to take a trade. I'm gonna play the waiting game. That's what I tell people. What do you do for a living? Oh, I wait. Oh, you're a waiter? Technically, yeah, I wait for the markets, man. I'm a professional fucking waiter when it comes to the charts, man. Fucking wait tables. I wait on my table. Yeah. I wait tables all fucking day. Boring as shit. But it's part of the game, bro. It was part of the job description. I know what I signed up for. On bed rest? Yeah, it's gonna be me this week if I get sick, bro. And I was just talking about that shit a couple weeks ago. Like, yo, I haven't been sick in a minute. Like, actually sick. Like, you know, like coughing and feeling bad. Been a minute. Kinda, I don't want to say I miss it now, but, cause you know, that's never good, bro. Again, knocking on wood. I don't want that shit to hit me. Right after this, I'm gonna go get an orange. I've been eating good though, bro. I don't think I'm gonna get sick, bro. It's a mental game. Once you start saying you're sick, you're fucked. Once you start saying you feel like shit and you're sick, oh, you're fucked. Your body's gonna act that way. Yeah, bro, it's all a mental game, bro. Your brain makes you believe that you're sick. You're so fucking chalked. You're so fucking chalked. So, nah, I'm not sick, bro. I'm chilling. But I'm taking the precautions. I'm doing what's necessary, man. I drank a Tylenol earlier. Ate some breakfast. Gonna get an orange after the class. Drink some water. Stay hydrated. I'll be good as new tomorrow. Said that shit 2 days ago. Got sick as fuck yesterday. Yeah, that's I don't want to be sick, bro. Cause trading while sick and then doing these sessions is not it, man. You guys know that when I get sick, I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to fucking do nothing. So NU, we know we are in A2, the second zone of consolidation, looking for that third and final push back down to the bottom. We're stuck at the bottom of the zone of consolidation. On a lower time frame, we know that we're also stuck in a zone of consolidation. right? So what do we know? Again, let's just look at everything, rinse and repeat, do the same thing, right? This is very similar to what we were saying on AU. We have a daily time frame, bearish engulfing candle. Right, so this is daily engulfing, and I don't know why the box is red. Right, on the 4-hour time frame, turn the session breaks off real quick. We had a week of rise last week. This week, price gave us a week of drop. Perfect. Internal time frame, we see a little shoulder, head, shoulder. Perfect. Right, so let's mark this up. Shoulder, head, boom. And you can see, like, yo, this prints all the time on the chart, yo. Contrary to what Mr. Q Bank said a few weeks ago. Shoulder, head, shoulders take months to develop. No, they don't. No, they don't. Right, of course. Let me go back and say this. Depends on what you're doing. If you are a swing trader, of course you're looking for a shoulder, head, shoulder pattern on the daily time frame and the 4-hour. You're not focused on the internal moves because you're a swing trader. You're waiting for price to develop at the top of the zones and the bottom of the zones. Yes, when you're looking for shoulder, head, shoulders, it's going to take weeks. It's going to take months, right, to print on the daily time frame or to print on the 4-hour time frame. He's absolutely correct about that. Right, so I don't want anybody to come at me and be like, yo, this guy's talking shit about Q. No, let's get something straight. The only trader online that I will trust, and people ask me, yo, who would you recommend me to learn from, is Q. Because of a lot of what I do, a lot of what I learned came from Q. A lot of candlestick analysis and how to read market structure on higher time frames came from Q. So I don't want people to get that twisted. However, that one comment he said, not correct. But again, it depends on the time frame you're looking for. So again, I know he's a swing trader. He looks at it a little bit different. So yes, he's not wrong when it comes to the daily and the 4-hour. Could you use this to your advantage on any other time frame? It doesn't matter what type of trader you are. Yes. I called off work today too. Did you call out for tomorrow? Right, so we already know, okay, NU, in order for this to continue to go lower, what do we need to see? We need to see a valid break of these lows, and we haven't gotten that yet. We just have a change of character. We have the inducement candles. So right now, there's no trades. Right, price also gave us a day of no net. We have no continuations. Once again, this entry, this entire zone here is low probability because we don't have those breaks just yet. Again, everything is rinse and repeat. All of these charts are traded the exact same way. This is how trading is supposed to look like. It's a system you have in play. And you use that system on every single pair that you trade. You follow your system, you're going to win. You're going to have an 80% and 90% win rate. I could guarantee you that. I have 2 years of live data that backs that up. On top of live data, I have what? How many years do I have going on? 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 years worth of data of back testing. And not even of active time that I was on the charts. Now this is, when I'm back testing, I'm not just back testing what's happening now. If you go to my MT4, my FX Glory, before we did the switch to TradingView, on all my pairs, 36 different pairs, you have back testing data from fucking 2003 to recent time. So now it depends on how I am, but so we just gotta be patient. Alright, these last couple pairs are gonna go by pretty quick as I'm not really trading them, and they're doing the same thing, right? US30, we're trapped at the highest point on the chart. We're looking for valid break of these highs to continue to go higher, right? Or we're looking for a price to give us exactly what we see now, right? The inducements of the highs, exhaustion candles at the highs, perfect. This is the area where I would love to start looking for shorts, right? On the 4-hour time frame, did price give us a valid break? No. It gave us another testing candle, then gave us an exhaustion candle, started going back down to the bottom. Perfect. So I already know the daily time frame gave us exhaustion candles, gave us an inducement. The 4-hour time frame gave us exhaustion candles, it gave us an inducement. Oh, but we have 2 weeks of rise. Are we going to be looking for a third week? No. Low probability because price never gave us a break of structure. If price would have given us this 4-hour break and then price on the 30-minute time frame, which we could see now, would have been giving us a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, then yes, I would 100% tell you we're definitely going higher. But the fact that price gave us the exhaustion candles, it gave us the inducements, this is the area where I would like to start looking for price to go back down. Now, the bad thing about US30 is the 30-minute zones that we're trading in. US30 is a very big pair, right? And we could see that price gave us higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Then gave us lower low, change of character back down to the bottom. I'm not marking US30 higher high, higher low, higher high, because price opened this higher high with such a big gap, like it was such an inducement, where I don't feel comfortable saying that we're trading lower low, lower high, lower low, right? To then say that this is higher high, higher low, higher high. Now, it would make a lot of sense when I'm looking at structure, when we're looking at this, and when we're looking at the zones, it would play out in our favor. Because at this point, if we start seeing price, right, if price gives us, that's not what I wanted to do, sorry. If price gives us lower low, change of character, lower high, lower low break of structure, then we know we could take these trades back down to the bottom, right? However, I want to keep true to my rules on this, because price could always, right, fake everyone out, right? Make everybody believe that this is where price is going to give you a higher high, give us another inducement of these highs, and then this is where we're going to start that downtrend push, and this is where we'll see the change of character, break of structure happen, and this is where I'll start looking to take my trades going back. And as a matter of fact, I'm not going to delete these markings. I'm going to keep this on my screen for you guys for this week. This is going to be a fun one to keep an eye on. And then we're going to go back and everybody's going to tell me, yo, you're the fucking market maker. Like, yeah, bro. We have 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. What did the market do? It went down. Perfect. It's doing exactly what it needs to do, man. The market never lies. The market never lies. It does what it has to do every single time. USDCAD. Right, this is a pair that on the daily time frame we already reached our third push. We made a new peak high. After the peak high, we started that downtrend push, and we can see that price gave us a first zone of consolidation. However, the only thing that I don't like about USDCAD, and to say that we're starting this downtrend push, is the fact that we're still trading higher high, higher low, higher high, and this could be the higher low to continue for price to go a little bit higher, right? So want to be careful with USDCAD. I'm not going to be actively trading it just because of that. But again, it's still reacting the same way. In this zone of consolidation, we have price rejecting lows, going back to the highs, right? So at this point, I'm just going to follow market structure on USDCAD, and then we'll go on from there. Somebody's vacuuming the second floor here. I was not told that the second floor will be vacuumed today. So I'm sorry if you guys hear that in the background. But we're almost done. Again, these last pairs, I'm not really trading them, so I'm going to just update them real quick. And I hope the background noise isn't too bad. But we'll finish here in the next 5 minutes. Again, USDZAR, I'm not trading it either. So I'm just going to skip ahead. We're still making lower lows and lower highs. We got to wait for price to turn around and start giving us higher highs and higher lows before we can start looking for price to go higher. We have 2 weeks of drop 2 on the 4-hour time frame. Price gave us a change of character, back up, came back down, gave us another inducement of the low. So want to be careful with USDZAR for sure. We already did the 30. I'm tripping. All right, again, daily time frame. We're at the bottom of the zone of consolidation, looking for that third push back to the top side. Makes sense now why you don't trade USDCAD. Yeah. I'm gonna be patient with CAD, bro. That pair scares me. Gold's similar to every other pair, man. We're in peak high territory. We're in a zone of consolidation. 4-hour time frame. We have 2 weeks of rise, but we already knew this is low probability because we're trapped in a zone of consolidation. Price gave us a week of drop instead, gave us a little shoulder head shoulder, right? We're still just rejecting those pushes. So on top of the fact that we're rejecting these lows to the bottom, price gave us on the 30-minute time frame another zone of consolidation where, again, if price gives us a break of these lows and it gives us a break of the shoulder head shoulder that we made, then perfect. We know we're going to go shorter. If price gives us an inducement of these lows, then we'll see price go back up to the top side, right? And we already got ready for this, right? We already have the change of character. If price gives us a break of structure on the 5-minute time frame, then perfect, we know price is going to go up. Again, if price gives us a break of these lows, then we know we'll go right back down to the bottom. So just going to be patient with gold. Bitcoin, very similar, same exact thing. Shoulder, head, shoulder, engulfing candles, none of these are valid because we're just still testing the highs. Nothing's a break of structure. We're still trapped in the accumulation phase, where if you get into a trade thinking price is going to go up, it's going to go down and hit your stop loss. If you think price is going to go down, it's going to go up, hit your stop loss. Did I say that twice? If price you think is going to, you know, vice versa, whatever, you guys get it. So I'm not trading Bitcoin for now. I'm going to wait for price to give us valid breaks. Then we'll go on from there. And then US oil, daily time frame, we know that we are in level 2 on a downtrend, right? We had push number 1 for zone consolidation, push number 2 that gave us the break of structure, lower low, lower high, and we're looking for that lower low to be the continuation back down to the bottom. On the lower time frames, we know that we're trapped in a zone of consolidation. After price gave us a lower high until the lower low, it gave us a lower high zone of consolidation, it gave us the break, and now we're looking for price to give us a valid lower high back to the top side, so then we could start looking for these continuations back down to the bottom. If price would have given us 2 weeks of drop, this would have been perfect, but it gave us a no net. The vacuum is getting closer. 30-minute time frame, price gave us lower low, lower high, lower low, still on a downtrend, but on a higher time frame. Again, I really want to see price give me a steeper pull back to the top side, possibly somewhere in this area to go short. So that's it for today, guys. Any questions? We'll be back again tomorrow morning for the live trading session. I hope you guys enjoyed this session. Any questions at all? Any other pairs you want me to go over? Anything you want me to explain? Let me know. I'll give you guys 2 minutes in the chat. If there's no questions, then we'll be done for the day, and we'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for the live trading session. Thanks, old head. No problem, Kendall. No problem, man. Hope you enjoyed it. Any questions at all? Let me know. Again, I'll give you guys another minute. If not, we'll be done for the day. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Make sure you guys join the Discord too. I'll post the link in the. Everything is free that we do. I'll post the link in the chat. Right meow. Kendall, join the Discord. I feel bad. Fuck you. Look what I sound. Discord, what Uthin? I don't know what that means, bro. I don't speak that lingo. Gorilla Mix. This guy's fucking. Who's the person that's promoting that shit on TikTok? There's like a fighter. I forgot who it was. I can't think of who it was. I'm not a fighter. Fucking a porn star. He's fucking all on my For You page on that shit. Right? That shit's crazy. Crazy fucking work. But yeah, I know what that is. I started seeing that shit like maybe like a week ago on my For You page for some reason. That shit you sent me, that Gorilla Mix. There's a porn star that that promotes that. But alright guys, I said enough, man. That shit's crazy that I would know that anyway. Yeah, I'm out of here. Gentlemen, peace out.